So we've got a new wave of shortages that are making their way to a city near you, quite possibly, unfortunately. And one of them is actually Medicaid, actually, because Medicaid benefits are about to be reduced because of the pandemic boost. But also we're seeing jobs. Perhaps maybe part of what Jerome Powell was pushing for with job loss, pain felt by families and businesses. And for those of you wondering, the voice you hear, it's not,
Barry White.
AI. It's actually
Oh, I thought you were talking about you and your deep voice, your deep morning voice.
in the background. Deep morning voice at almost 1 p.m. But millions set to lose Medicaid coverage as pandemic era rule expires. Up to 15 million people are expected to lose their insurance in the coming months. Children, young adults, and Black and Hispanic people are most likely to be affected.
Now, is this complete or is this the additional?
The pandemic era rule that protected people from losing their Medicaid coverage will expire on Friday. And that's going to put millions of people's health insurance coverage at risk. Medicaid provides free health insurance to people with low incomes. So it's going to be income based. I'm not sure how widespread this problem is going to be.
I would say if you think it's going to affect you, try to get into the doctor's office before Friday.
Well, this is on the 31st.
Today's the 2nd, Sunday the 2nd.
So where's the calendar at?
Well, if today's the 2nd, then you've got, that would be the 7th, I believe.
The 31st was Friday.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they were saying the 31st Friday or if they mean Good Friday, the 7th, April 7th.
Which, the irony of that, Good Friday, yes, that takes away stuff to help millions of people.
Man. But with that being said, they're also predicting a shortage of nursing and healthcare.
Well, we all know why. The mandates that went through, that had numerous ones quit, and then if those mandates are still in effect, it's going to have numerous ones not start.
Pandemic burnout worsens nursing shortage in hospitals across the U.S.
When you're essential, when they need you to be essential, and then you're expendable when they no longer need you to be essential.
You're essential until you're not. It's like Born Identity.
Yeah.
These assets. And then when you're no longer, they cease to recognize your existence. The national nursing shortage dates back decades, but the C-19 pandemic pushed it to crisis levels. And one study predicts that in the next 2 years, there will be a shortage of up to 450,000 bedside nurses in the U.S., which is going to have a medical staffing shortage that will affect patients. Nurses are burnt out.
Well, I guess that's why now that app, Doctor on Demand, is getting a push from a lot of places, and there's a lot of, I don't know if it's hospitals, but smaller clinics and doctors' offices that when you make your appointment, a lot of it now is we're going to do a virtual call with you to determine if you really need to fully come in or if we can help you this way. And at first I thought it was because they wanted to save money or be able to still work from home or something like that, but it could honestly be because they don't have the people in these locations to help you.
For a second there, I thought she was going to say they're going to use these apps. So when you go to the doctor's office, when you go to the hospital, there's no one there to see you. You're just in the building, but you communicate through an app.
That's happened already in some places where you go to the doctor's office, but when you get in there, it is literally a Zoom call with the doctor inside the office. But that way, you can say you went to the doctor. That head shake is exactly how I feel about it too. The way we're going, everything is becoming so desensitized and unpersonalized that it's ridiculous. It used to be you go into the doctor's office and you make friends with the lady at the front desk and with the nurses and your doctor. You know them on first name or whatever basis. You get a lollipop at the end. And now it's you just have to know which Zoom number to call into, which app to open up, and you get a different person every single time.
And no lollipop.
And no lollipop. And now instead of having a doctor you can go into when you don't feel good, you have these new My ID bracelets where you can just hop online and put in all your new symptoms of stuff, and that way they can track you digitally instead of whatever else.
Side note, this breakfast sandwich is absolutely delicious.
I'm sorry I didn't make bacon for it. I do have the bacon, but I was eating leftovers and I didn't want to waste the bacon.
States warn of healthcare worker shortage as they prepare for next pandemic, according to ABC News.
Now, listen, when you say as they prepare for next pandemic, it lets you know that they have something in mind as the next pandemic, which in itself is freaking terrifying.
That's what I want people to understand. Remember we were talking about yesterday, the why? Mm-hmm. They're not, if we just read one article that says pandemic burnout worsens nursing shortage with a projected 450,000 nursing staff shortage over the next 2 years. Why? Why are we having this conversation?
I say it all the time on my channel. Look at how they phrase things. So when I'm reading things that I find, I say, listen to how they phrase this and then look at what it really means. They phrase things so that you either get scared or you don't realize you should be scared. There's back and forth. Depending on which outlet you go to will depend on which way they want to push you. Also, everybody has their own agenda. But you have to listen to what they're not telling you by looking at more than just one outlet. You got to look at all of it.
Well, that's kind of like the titles and thumbnails. Somebody said, Kevin, your titles and thumbnails need to be more specific because, either they're misleading or they're scaring me or whatever.
That's stupid, though, because if you titled it nurse shortage, how many people are going to click on that? However,
But that could be misleading, too.
But it could be misleading. But the thing is, a lot of people won't click on things if they think it doesn't pertain to them, not realizing that other stuff inside there pertains to them, like, specifically.
I think the big thing is you need to take that and then from there listen to what's being said.
I just had a funny thought. You know that TV show, How I Met Your Mother? Mm-hmm. I watched it because I wanted to know how they met the mother. If the TV show was titled, hey, I met your mom at this bar, she got drunk, we had whatever, and now you're here, you already know exactly. Like,
Some people will watch that, though.
Some people would watch that, though. But the thing is, TV shows do it. The news channels do it. You have to title it in a way that people are going to be curious as to what is in there so that they can get the information they truly need, as opposed to just gloss it over.
But how about this? Your titles are scaring me.
That's your problem.
Stop being alarmist. Stop being a fearmonger. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. States warn of healthcare worker shortages as they prepare for the next pandemic. Let's just say that was the title of my video. It's the title of this news headline from ABC News. I wonder if ABC News gets commenters saying, quit making headlines like this because they're scaring people. But the real question I want to ask you is, what scares you? Are you scared because there's a shortage of healthcare workers, or are you scared because they're preparing for the next pandemic? Because it's going to be different for everybody, and not everyone is afraid of the same things that everybody else is.
Well, unfortunately, people also have to remember how you feel is not my problem. Does that make sense? Like, your opinion of me does not matter, does not affect me, or I don't remember how that phrase goes, but the thing is, I could say the same phrase to 10 different people. 10 different people are going to hear it and react to it completely differently based on how it makes them feel. That doesn't change what I said. It just changes how they feel about it. But that's not something that is I'm going to use the word problem, or because it's not.
It's not. I will say that, unfortunately, I think too many people voice their opinions too soon without really
Look,
gaining all the facts and knowledge necessary to really have a just opinion.
one of my favorite things is one of my videos, I said it was windy while we were out somewhere, and I said, man, it's cold here. And I got so many comments going, are you kidding me? It's 40 something degrees. That's not cold. You should be here. This is actually cold. And I want to remind people that everything is relevant to you. Everything is relevant to me. My relevance does not have to be your relevance, and vice versa. For me, 40 degrees and windy was cold because I live in Florida where I'm used to 90-degree weather. You know what I mean? For somebody else, 2 degrees isn't cold because they're used to being in -10. Like, everything is relevant, but my thoughts and feelings don't not matter just because yours don't align with it. Everybody's thoughts and feelings matter, but it's not up to me to determine your thoughts and feelings. I don't know how to phrase that correctly, but that's how I know what I mean.
I want people to get ready, prepare. I want people to stock up, okay? Because there's going to be a huge shitstorm coming your way if you fall into these categories, right? And it's not just Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, killing jobs, the economy tanking, looming recession. CNBC reports a CEO shares the 5 toxic personality types that he sees over and over again. And guess what? He stays far away from them. So, if you fall into this category, or any of these categories, odds are your employment in the future is going to be questionable. So stock up now while you can. While you still have the ability to earn an income, receive a paycheck. The first being withholders. And according to this, thank you. Withholders are described as unable to deliver praise or feel happy when someone else steps up and contributes to a group success. They are wired by insecurity or the need for domination. They resent anyone who possesses skills that they don't have or who doesn't feel the same self-loathing that they are plagued with. If you are thriving, they see it as their mission to bring you down.
Unfortunately, too many of us know too many people like that.
Unfortunately, these 5 toxic personality types are not only job applicants, co-workers, colleagues, potentially future unemployed, but a lot of them are viewers on YouTube that choose to comment.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll see some of the best videos out there, and it's happy videos, it's positive, whatever. I get it over on my second channel, where you're happy, you're positive, and somebody, because they don't have that same happiness in their life, decide that crapping on yours is the route to go. And I've never understood that kind of personality. They say misery loves company, but we don't want to be your company. That's what's unfair about it. For people to, I'm like, can't y'all all just make your own little group somewhere and bitch and moan on your own time instead of trying to crap on everybody else?
So there's a guy, and he's a YouTuber, and he makes a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So much money that he was able to buy a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something. I don't know what it was. He makes a lot of money. Mm-hmm. He then found out that another YouTuber made more than him. Mm-hmm. And instantly he was upset.
That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. Somebody else's success does not have any bearing on mine, yours, that person's. I've never understood the need to
Instantly upset.
be unhappy for somebody else that's doing better than you. It's never made sense to me. Why can't we all just get along? I guess is the right phrase here. But why would you be mad that somebody is doing well in life?
How does it change how well you were doing or are doing, only to find out that, oh, someone else is doing better?
So I don't know if you've ever seen it. There's this thing, I can't remember how the whole thing goes, but it kind of goes along the lines of, if you have $10,000 and somebody steals $10 of it, are you going to be pissy and angry about those $10? Or are you going to be happy that you have the $9,990?
Devil's advocate.
Something along those lines.
If anybody steals anything from you, you have the right to be upset.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't remember how the whole thing goes, but it's along those lines. You're letting something that is trivial and doesn't matter affect your happiness and your whatever.
Absolutely. Losing dollars, chasing pennies, splitting hairs here. Speaking of which, came across a story. It was a short Texas shoe store owner. I think it was Laced. Now I'm really curious. But he stopped these people from stealing his shoes. Mm-hmm. And Laced Connection, all right? So Laced Connection, I'm not intentionally getting sidetracked and rambling. This is just how my brain works. And this is my channel. So anyway, he has a video, short, where he shows...
Squirrels stick together.
So he shows, it's funny. It's funny when I read the comments and they're about the video and then they put the squirrel emoji like it's just like a little breadcrumb, like...
Mm-hmm. They've been to your wife's channel at some point in life.
He shows a video. They're in the back room. They broke in. They tried to steal these sneakers, some Nikes, some Yeezys, some expensive inventory he's got. He's upset. The owner's upset because somebody tried to steal from him, right? There's a lot of factors here. But what he did was he only put one shoe in each box. And as they start opening these boxes, they get all pissed off and then they leave because they can't get both. But also, this is why businesses are moving online.
Oh, yeah.
This is why businesses are going to drop shipping. This is why businesses are getting out of employees. This is why businesses are trying to limit their risk and their liability while having tons of money invested in this inventory that could be stolen from them.
Or the building could burn down and you lose all of it.
I think at least then you get the insurance claim. But to file an insurance claim on, like, let's just say $2,000 or $4,000 worth of sneakers stolen, it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt you so bad. Like,
And that's what the insurance companies bank on.
The insurance claim should make you whole. You close up, you got to move on. But if you actually use your insurance for its intended purpose, like, they hit you afterwards.
Which is the stupidest thing. You pay all this money into your insurance, and then when you need them to help you, you get screwed for needing the help. It is the most backwards thing I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that we're required to have it for certain things,
the crazy part about
stupid.
it is they don't tell you that when you get it. A lot of people don't know.
Oh, you don't realize
They
that
don't know.
using your insurance screws you, but not having it is illegal for certain things, which is stupid.
Hijackers, the second toxic personality. It's not always so brazen and extreme, but hijackers are essentially withholders with the added bonus of aggression. They want to trade on your vulnerability, take what you are great at, and claim it for themselves. I've seen a lot of hijackers in managerial roles. What they don't understand is that to extract value from creatives, they must be empathetic to other people's deficiencies instead of trying to exploit them.
Those are the people that want you to look bad so they look better, that take credit for what you have done because they want to be the one that gets the recognition.
Oh, man. And there's so many channels out there that do this. Like there's channels on YouTube devoted to making other channels look bad.
Yeah, no, I've seen those channels. Those don't make sense to me. There's channels out there I don't like. There's channels out there that I don't agree with, but that's their channel and they can do whatever they want. And my opinion of their channel is my opinion. I'm not going to use my opinion to crap on somebody else's stuff, but there are people out there who literally spend.
They dig, and they make a mountain out of these molehills, and they, like Meet Kevin was one of them. Like this guy, or there might have been more than one guy that like they made a channel just to show you how terrible a person Meet Kevin was. They make channels to show you how terrible Grant Cardone is. Now, I'm not saying these people aren't.
Yeah.
But it's like they're taking every little possible thing and trying to make it look bad.
Now, I can understand if there is somebody out there who is trying to do good and warn others of certain people who may be nefarious or have ulterior motives or whatever else, or who is a complete 180 from what they portray. I understand that. That would make sense to me. But a lot of these are ones who do it just because they're jealous that these other people or channels or entities or whatever have become successful, and I think that's where the issue comes in.
Well, yeah, and then you got the other ones that do it on a regular basis consistently, but they try to hide behind like euphemisms and metaphors and riddles and props.
The problem with me is if I don't like you, I'm just going to say, hey, you, I don't like you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to move on.
I like that. I don't remember the exact quote from what was the movie? Focus. And
That's the one with Will Smith and Margot Robbie?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We only watched that movie one time.
We did, but it was a really good movie, weirdly.
And I'll see if I can pull it up. But the problem that people have, at least from this quote in the movie, is that if you want to tell somebody to F off, just tell them to F off. Don't say, gee, what a great jacket.
That passive-aggressive bitchiness, basically. I get that a lot on my channel. It's like, but just
And
be
it's funny, though,
upfront.
because those start off with great video, but...
My favorite is,
Great video, but...
you shouldn't wear your hair like that. I hate those earrings you have on. The whatever else.
Wow.
People don't like that. I don't care what people like or don't like. If I like how I look, if I like how I feel, if I like the way I portray myself and carry myself and whatever else, then that's what matters. And then as long as you also are happy, I'm good. I have to be happy first. Everybody else's opinion of me is just an opinion. I don't give two shits.
I think the crazy part about it is people tell you that you would be doing so much better if you did this, and it's like, It's like your channel is about 13 months old, 14 months old. You have 123,000 subscribers. I don't think you're doing bad.
I do
I
have
don't
an
think
issue.
you're doing bad.
But those are the people that we're talking about here, those 5 toxic personalities. Those are the people who are mad that somebody else is doing something that either they can't do or won't do, and they would rather crap on it than say, hey, you know what? Good job. Hey, your video is 50 minutes long. Can't you condense this into 10 minutes? No. It's not going to happen. If you want a 10-minute video, why the hell did you click on the one that said 50 minutes?
What was the young man's name yesterday? Landon
Stewart.
Stewart. Wow.
Really bright, nice kid.
Y'all are YouTubers? Mm-hmm. You could tell that he was trying to ask as many questions
as possible
to learn more.
Yes. Because he's got his own channel. I don't know how old he is. I would think 15 or 16. I could be wrong, but we were at a community event over where we live. We went out to kind of record and support small businesses and see what's going on. And we met a kid there. Again, don't know how old he is. Landon Stewart, who sings Christian music. He has his own songs he's got coming out. Like, he goes to recording studios. He's got a YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram, and he's really trying to get out there and get off the ground. And he asked us all kinds of questions, and he was just...
There was no animosity because...
He said, hey, how many subscribers do you have? And I told him, and he goes, wow, that's amazing. I want to be there one day, as opposed to, man, you suck. I'm not there. How are you there? Why am I not there and you're there?
And definitely not thinking that he can't.
Yeah, he never once thought he couldn't. He was just trying to figure out how he could.
I was like I told you yesterday, the woman says, when we get to be millionaires.
Yes.
There was no doubt or question that it was going to happen.
If you think good thoughts, good things will happen. If all you think is negative, only things you're going to get back are negative, because that's what you will see everything as. I have a video from months and months and months ago when we were traveling that people ripped me a new one for, where I said, if can't is a stupid word. If you are where you are in life and you're using the words, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, then you deserve to be where you are in life, because it's your mindset that's holding you there. Can't is a dumb word. You can do anything. You're not willing to do it, though.
I mean, if you want to say can't, say it. Say, I can't give up. I can't, be stagnant. I can't fail.
The only time that is allowed is when it's used in a positive way.
So the third toxic personality is victims. And generally, good performers live in a place of gratitude. They don't feel entitled to success, so they're thrilled and thankful when it arrives. But victims live in a place of constant injustice. They see every bump in the road as confirmation that they are being unfairly targeted.
I see that so often, and I'm not even gonna lie. When I was younger, I would have that same attitude every once in a while. If I didn't get something that I wanted, or like that I thought I deserved, or I thought I worked hard enough for, I myself would have that victim mentality of, well, that's not fair. I did what I was supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. Instead of that mentality of, well, they did it better. They worked harder. They showed up sooner. They stayed later. They put more work in. They deserved it. I, instead of looking at myself and going, you know what, if you had done just a hint more, maybe you would have gotten it. But too many people would rather play the victim than look inward and realize they're doing these things to themselves.
If you feel as though that you quite possibly fall into this victim toxic personality trait, don't ever consider becoming a entrepreneur, self-employed business owner, or content creator.
It won't work for you.
Because there are so many natural occurrences that would make you feel, or at least want to feel like you're the victim. But, there's no guarantee. I can show you YouTube channels, which is where I, tend to go most of the time when I'm making these comparisons. And I can show you YouTube channels that you guys probably watch that have been doing this longer than me and you combined, and don't have anywhere near the amount of subscribers and views that we have. I can show you YouTube content creators and channels that have been doing it less time than us.
And are whooping our butts when it comes to viewers and subscribers and things like that.
But, you just, it's like you wash your car and you go and, it's a nice day, but then the bird craps on it. You can't control that.
Yeah, uncontrollable.
You can't control that. All right. Are you a victim? Like, did the bird target you? Probably not.
But if you let it ruin your day because there's a spot on your car now, then, don't be like that. So that phrase, birds of a feather flock together, you'll notice that victim mentality people are generally surrounded by other victim mentality people.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to have somebody who condones it and
like
nourishes that mentality than somebody who goes, hey, listen, just shut up. And
it's a petri dish,
Yeah.
like breeding more bacteria.
But the thing is, you look at successful people or happy people, they are generally surrounded by other happy people or successful people, because you can't get anywhere in life if you surround yourself with people who are going to hold you down and hold you back.
In our circle, every possible negative we share with everyone in our circle to A, try to help figure out a solution, and B, make sure it doesn't happen to them. And it's not a victim mentality. It's realizing, all right, this is not working in business. Now we all know this. Let's put our heads together and figure out what will work. And, YouTube algorithm since December would want to make a lot of people feel like the victim mentality.
Yeah. There's been a lot of change on YouTube, and the people who are used to certain things are no longer getting those certain things.
Like the day YouTube started taking away views.
That was hard. I remember I had a video up that had like 50,000, and then it said 30, and then it said 10. And I'm like, what is happening?
The crazy part about it is some creators don't have a network. They'll think that it's only them until there's a confirmation the next day.
Yeah.
But we knew already within 5 minutes from all the channels that we were connected to, all right, this is
Something's wrong.
not an isolated, this is widespread. And you would have that victim mentality, which will ultimately shut you down, prevent you from thinking clearly. Number 4 on the list of toxic personality traits is martyrs.
Oh, God. Those are even worse.
Martyrs are like victims who actually do the work, but they don't do it well enough to justify the psychological drain that they place on an organization. They take us on as much as they can handle, not to help the broader team, but to confirm the narrative that they carry around about themselves as unjustly forced to take on the burdens of others.
Somebody called me a martyr one day in one of my videos, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's a negative term, the way you're using it. I didn't like it, and I don't know why. Because other people, you hear that word used as like a good thing sometimes for people in the past, but I've always thought of it as a negative word.
I guess, it's all going to come down to the context.
Yeah.
Like you said yesterday, by definition, a person who is killed because of their religious or other beliefs is a martyr. But in this context, they're using it as a personality trait, a toxic personality trait. But like you said yesterday, you used the word enable. Enable is typically bad. When I said enabling van life. It's all
depends on how it's used in your perspective, correct.
Last but not least, we've got gaslighters. And gaslighters are literally they're like the Captain Planet of toxic personalities, because with your powers combined,
yes,
gaslighters will spend their energy trying to rewrite reality to the detriment of everyone around them. And they often possess narcissistic traits. They combine the qualities of withholders, which you would think qualities is a positive.
Yeah.
Again, perspective.
Yeah, perspective.
They combine the qualities of withholders, hijackers, victims, and martyrs all in one, attempting to convince people that they are not seeing what's going on right in front of their eyes.
So the way that one works is, I know every single person has met a gaslighter at some point in their life where they want you to feel like whatever the situation is that they're in is somehow your fault and make you feel bad about everything.
Here's the problem with gaslighters. People misuse the term. Therefore, they'll call me a gaslighter based on the content that I create.
I've been same thing. And it's like, I'm just bringing you the news and giving you my opinion on how it connects. Like, I don't understand.
But these, I seriously wonder if these news channels and websites and stations and other outlets get that from people, because
my favorite
we
was,
put ourselves out here and allow the comments.
Yeah. My favorite was when you would have scripts because you would make scripts so that you would not get any details wrong. You'd have everything that they needed to know and everything else. And people would be like, it'd be so much better if you weren't reading from a script. And it's like, you do understand every single news anchor you've ever watched on television is reading from a teleprompter to make sure they bring you the actual factual stuff on whatever's happening right then and there. So having a script and reading from a script and people having issue with that has always been one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in comments or read. I haven't heard it, read it.
Hey,
Where is it? When I just talk
and assholes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, everybody has one. When I just talk, because I don't do scripts. I mean, I read my things and I just talk. People are like, this would be so much better if you were scripted. And then it's like, can y'all make up your flipping minds?
Let's be fair here, okay? Not everyone says that.
Not everyone says that. No.
Not everyone who watches your video comments either.
Also true.
So we have to look at the overall, the views, the likes, and realize the masses' opinions versus the few trolls who decide to become keyboard warriors in their mom's basement.
It's never made sense to me. I get the comments sometimes of, well, I unsubscribed because I didn't like this and then blah, blah, blah. Well, then how are you here? Why are you here now? If you unsubscribed and you left because you don't like the way I talk, like, I don't think people understand they don't have to watch things that they don't like. You can watch something else. I don't watch TV shows I don't like. I don't hang out with people I don't like. If something happens and I go to myself, you know what? I don't agree with this. I don't align with this. I don't like the way it's said. I don't like that person's personality. I walk away.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'll tell everybody else. I know why people do what they do. And in that particular situation, they do it because they want you to talk to them. Therefore, they're going to say something that'll make you reply to them.
I'd like people to know that there's a little button on the side of your comments that says report, remove, or hide user from channel. And for my personal sanity and well-being and peace of mind, the people that are one of those 5 just terrible toxic traits, those ones that comment, they don't get replies. They get hidden from the channel and I move on with my day because your negativity is not going to spill over into my day and my life personally.
Last but not least, the FAA asks major airlines to slash flights at busy airports due to staffing shortages. So, folks, shortages are mounting. Not necessarily what we would have expected within grocery stores or food on the shelves or available products, farming, fertilizer. Granted, there is not a shortage of wild pigs possibly invading North America or United States from Canada. It's not a shortage of that. But the simple fact of the matter is there are shortages mounting. The shortages are the list of shortages are growing, but most importantly, I think that the major shortage that we are going to experience here moving forward is going to be a shortage of income earning opportunities and potential. Therefore, a shortage of money, a shortage of resources, capital, savings, credit, possibly. Please beware. Heed the warning signs, folks. Thank you, Squirrel Tribe, Michelle.
Hey, you're welcome.
For breakfast and the chat. Appreciate every single one of you. Please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on your alerts, notifications, comment down below. 100% free links in the description. Share this video with anybody you think it'd be helpful to. And I'll see you guys real soon. Take care.